Here it is, the new generation version of the Toyota HiLux. It's not an all-new model, but it does have an all-new look front and rear, and the interior has been completely overhauled as well. I'm going to tell you what's carried over from the previous one, tell you about the engines on offer, and we'll even get to go for a drive in this new HiLux model. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe, and let's chat about the new HiLux. As was the case in the previous model, the Workmate starts the lineup off, but no 2.7 litre petrol anymore and no 2.4 litre diesel. Instead, all of them come with the 2.8 litre. You can still get the single cab chassis 4x2 with a 6-speed manual if you want it at $33,990, $2,000 more for a single cab chassis 4x2 automatic. In the 4x4 Workmate lineup, there's a single cab chassis automatic, there's a double cab chassis automatic, and a double cab pickup. Now, those Workmate models are pretty basic. You are getting a 12.3-inch touchscreen media system and digital instrumentation, but you're getting cloth seat trim, rubber flooring, halogen lights, and steel wheels for those Workmate models. Up from there is the SR grade. Now you can get it as a 4x2 double cab pickup at $52,990. Then there's the 4x4 model. So you can get an extra cab chassis with an automatic, a double cab chassis with a manual, a double cab chassis 48 volt mild hybrid auto at $57,990, or as a double cab pickup with the mild hybrid engine and a 6-speed automatic transmission, just under $60,000. Then there's the SR5, which is probably going to be the most appealing for more people, and it's available as a dual cab pickup with a 6-speed manual transmission, or as a dual cab chassis with mild hybrid technology and a 6-speed auto, or a dual cab pickup. The SR5 model does add a few extra features like 18-inch wheels, better lighting, larger front disc brakes, rear disc brakes as well, and it also gets a surround view camera, which is excellent, especially for off-roading. And on the inside, you've still got cloth trim and heated front seats and a steering wheel with heating as well, and a larger 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and auto dimming rearview mirror. But if you want leather, you have to spend an extra $2,500 to get the premium interior package, which will add black leather accented upholstery, 8-way power driver's seat adjustment with lumbar support, and a 9-speaker JBL stereo system. And at the top of the range is the Rogue double cab pickup. It's an automatic with 48 volt mild hybrid at $71,990. The Rogue is certainly a lifestyle focused model with a hard cover on the back. It's got a carpet lined tub area, distinct exterior and interior styling, and a towing package including a tongue and ball, trailer wiring harness, and electronic brake controller. Then there's also the Rugged X top spec model at the same price with more off-road stuff, different 18-inch wheels, a hoopless bull bar, front and rear recovery points, an LED light bar, sticker package, sports bar, towing package, bed liner, and the same sort of interior trim that you'll find in the Rogue flagship model. Have your say in the comments. Do you reckon the pricing is right for the new HiLux? Here it is, the new generation version of the Toyota HiLux with an Australian designed exterior and interior. So let's have a look at the changes that have been made to this front end. It is vastly different to its predecessor, despite the fact that between the bonnet and the tray, it's the same body. This front end design has seen some massive changes. So you've got these new high headlights with LED lighting in the high grades. The lower grades still get halogens for some parts of the lights, but the front end design is called Cyber Sumo. Have you ever seen a sumo stance? I'm not going to replicate that right now, but the side profile of this vehicle has also seen a couple of changes. You've got different wheel arch designs, different wheels as well. This one is a high-spec Rogue model, and it really does look fantastic in my opinion, despite the fact that, yep, this part right here is the same as before. Same door handles, same doors, same glass, same roof, but it does look pretty fresh in my opinion. Up here, you'll find a new look sailplane for this Rogue grade. You've got the covered cargo area. It's got an electric roller cover, and the rear end design has also seen some practicality improvements. Right here, a step to get in and out of the tray, or just reach in and out of the tray. And at the back, you have a redesigned rear end, which really does look, well, traditional, because it's still got the big bold Toyota lettering, but it's got a bit more of a macho look to it. Now, let's have a quick look inside. So this one is the Rogue model, as I said, with a different looking interior to some of the base grades, different materials, some nice trim finishes, which really does bring up the vibe a little bit. But what really brings up the vibe is this completely redesigned dashboard with this 12.3-inch screen, which is standard on all grades. Some people might not like there's no knob there, but you do get volume buttons and you do get actual physical controls underneath for your fan and temperature. Much more in the way of physical controls down here. And there's a 12.3-inch driver info screen as well. The base grades, even the Workmate models, come with a digital screen there, but it's a small, a 7-inch screen. This has been completely rethought with better storage, better material quality, and much nicer aesthetics to it as well. So, it could be a very important model for Toyota, and it's a far more competitive one than the previous HiLux was. Toyota has democratized the diesel engine in this model range. So now all versions come with a 2.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine, 150 kilowatts, 500 newton meters, and the choice of 6-speed manual in some grades or a 6-speed automatic transmission. There's 4x2 or selectable 4x4. Still no permanent 4-wheel drive option in this model range, unlike some other utes in the segment. And also that does mean that the 2.7 litre petrol is gone from the Workmate models, and so is the 2.4 litre turbo diesel. Now, in some grades, from the dual cab SR automatic upwards, you will get 48 volt assist technology or mild hybrid technology as part of the powertrain too, to help save some fuel and make it a little bit more efficient. But let's go drive this new HiLux and see if it's any different to the existing one. For my first drive of the new Toyota HiLux, they didn't let me film inside the cabin while I was driving, which is weird, but sometimes you've just got to play by the rules. So look, there's a lot of stock footage of camouflage pre-production models in this section, but it's representative of what I got to do in the new HiLux on the testing day, and it included a mix of different on-road and off-road situations. First was the on-road component, which consisted of a highway speed oval drive, where it was evident that the existing diesel engine and 6-speed automatic remained up to the task. They've always been a strong pairing, but they've always been pretty noisy too. The new model seemed a little quieter and less gruff, but it's still clear that this carryover powertrain is a strong one. And while the gearbox remains clever in managing the gears, it does feel like it could probably do with a couple of extra ratios at higher speeds like you get in a Prado. But the biggest difference is the steering. The brand has moved from a heavy hydraulic steering system that took a fair bit of arm work in the previous model to a new electric steering system that makes it a lot easier to drive and less of a handful to change directions or to park. Now that's great for urban duties and highway stuff, but might be an issue for off-roading, as I'll tell you about soon. The ride comfort, well, it is greatly improved, definitely. It's still pretty firm in the Workmate single cab chassis model that I tested, but it also had more noise generally and wasn't as comfy due to some ergonomic issues in that base model work-focused version. But in the SR5 spec model that I tested, which has that revised suspension tune, well, the ride was greatly improved because it's been softened up at the rear in particular, and thank God, because it was fiercely sharp in the last model, especially unladen, and now it definitely has the chops to be far more competitive in the ute segment in terms of the on-road driving experience. But what about off-road? Toyota didn't shy away from letting us punish these new HiLux pre-production models for this preview day, and the new ute definitely retains its intense off-road credibility. It mightn't have permanent four-wheel drive like a Ranger, Amarok or Triton, but it does have a carryover selectable 4x4 system with low range that allows you to get out and get into the rough stuff with confidence. Now, the hill climb section of this off-road test was particularly gnarly. It was raining on the day and the clay got slipperier as time went along, and the rutted sections got deeper as well. While I got up at the first time around without the rear differential locked, on my second go around I did need to lock up that rear diff, and well, I scrambled up after a couple of tries because it was getting pretty serious out there. but there is a potential issue here. That new steering system is definitely better on road, but off-road, some drivers might miss the pinpoint accuracy of the existing steering, which offered better feedback, in my opinion, and less guesswork about where your tires were actually pointing. Now, there is a very good surround view camera system and off-road camera setup for the new HiLux, and it does make a big difference because it's basically got a Land Cruiser 300 series level of usability to the camera. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that to show you right now. Now, a plus for those moments when you really need to halt your progress is the addition of disc brakes on the SR5 models and above, and that offers definitely more assertive response to the stopping power. Look, the new HiLux is certainly still up to the task when it comes to 4x4 driving. I can't wait to see what the new Rugged X model brings to the table as a hardcore hero in this lineup, because the standard ones are already pretty bloody good. The previous generation version of the HiLux was updated over its life cycle with more safety tech and spec as it got older, and this one gets even more again. Though it hasn't been tested by ANCAP at the time I'm filming this video, it probably could achieve a 5-star score, but I am surprised to see that it doesn't have one of those really annoying driver monitoring camera systems, which I'm actually grateful for, so thank you Toyota for not including that. Hopefully it still gets a high score, even though it doesn't have it, but you can still get plenty of standard spec across the entire range. Things like autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist detection. There's also lane keeping assistance and lane trace assist, so it can do steering for you when you've got the cruise control on, and that's part of this new model range because it now has electronic power assisted steering as opposed to the old hydraulic system, as I mentioned earlier. But it's also got things like blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert, and in the high grade versions you're getting a surround view camera system, which is excellent for off-roading if you are looking for that level of tech when you're in the bush. And the airbag coverage is good in this vehicle. There's 8 fitted. So you've got dual front, you've got a front center airbag, there's a driver's knee airbag, there's front side airbags, and there's curtain airbag coverage for both rows of seats. So from a safety perspective, you can expect pretty good things from this HiLux. Just like before, you can expect a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty for the new generation HiLux and up to 7 years of powertrain warranty if you maintain the vehicle to the service schedule. Now, service intervals are still to be confirmed, but you can probably expect them to be the same as before at 6 months and 10,000 kilometres. And there will be a cap price servicing plan as well. And no, you won't get roadside assist included like some other brands throw it in for free, but Toyota doesn't. You got to pay extra for it. But hey, this vehicle has one of the best reputations for reliability in the Australian market and in the world. So, hey, does that really matter? Does the ownership stuff really matter? Have your say in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. So there you have it. This redesigned new generation HiLux is more appealing than before. It's nicer to drive, it's nicer to be a passenger in, and it's also still a pretty competitive thing in its own way. But what do you think? Are you happy with the new design? That's what I really want to know. Have your say in the comments section below. And do you think Toyota has done enough? Make sure you let me know. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you when I see you.